Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Formcast, episode 34. And this one is definitely not about streaming, but it's more about life and something I just went through that opened my eyes, changed the way I was doing things recently. And to this day, which almost a week later, is still very much so at the not top of my mind, but pretty up there for something that I think about on a daily basis. And if you're watching this or listening to this, thank you. I appreciate it. So on last Friday, today I'm recording this on a Tuesday. So last Friday, almost a week ago, like I said, um, after nearly 20 years of driving, I got into my first vehicle accident. Driving my truck, I got hit by another truck, actually the same kind, funny enough, to the side of my vehicle, and they're at fault and all that. I was just driving straight, and they turned into me. But needless to say, it was my first accident and my first shocking revelation, which I don't think should have come at 33 years of age, but that in a split second, I could have been either ridiculously injured or I could have been killed. Um, Not to put this into perspective, the accident, I didn't roll over, I didn't get stuck in the vehicle. Pretty good damage to the vehicle, my truck, but um, I ended up going through an intersection. Luckily, the light was green, and could have had my dog with me. Hit the door right where she sits usually, and all these things run through your mind in terms of what could have been, what could have happened. It could have been worse, way worse, and we're lucky that it wasn't. I'm lucky that it wasn't. I guess what I'm saying is not long before the accident, actually, to be honest, for the last like 3 months, it's been a lot of change in my life. There's been changes personally, changes with work, changes with a bunch of different things. And I've kind of become, or became, I should say, someone that people like weren't really excited to be around. Um, a lot of negative, a lot of struggle, a lot of obstacles, a lot of I don't cares, right? When you should care. You don't always have to care, but you should care. And I'm not going to say that it required me to be in a vehicle accident for me to realize this. I was, getting out of it on my own, but it took this vehicle accident to remind me that I tend to take certain things for granted. I should show my gratitude more. I should say thank you more, say I love you more, and not push people away that are trying to help. It was scary. When you really look at a car accident and you look back when everything is you're fine and vehicles can be fixed and all that. When you look back, you really have an opportunity to say, "Wow, I'm insanely lucky," and what if that was the end? Or what if I was paralyzed? Or what if I, was put on life support or something like that because of someone's decision on the road? Um, I could have also been on my motorcycle. If I was on my motorcycle, I doubt that I would be recording this right now. I really, really do. I was traveling at about 45 miles per hour, 60 kilometers an hour here. Um, and I literally got sideswiped from my left side. So I mean, it just opens your eyes, and it's made me think a lot, and it's made me realize a lot. I've made tons of mistakes in my life in the past, and the last 5 years of my life, going from a probation officer to working at a gym to being a full time content creator, like everything has been just a roller coaster, and I haven't really had time to just settle in life. And it's made me realize that you do have to really enjoy every single moment. So if you're listening to this and you're struggling through life and you're forcing yourself to work that job you hate, you're forcing yourself to, um, I don't know what, do things that you don't want to do, and just, be upset and be grumpy and hold grudges and um, whatever it may be. You could be gone tomorrow. You could be gone today. You could be gone on the way to your, home from work. Like, there's a lot that there's a lot of my life that I don't share because I think as a content creator, it's important to keep a lot of it private. You just really never know what people are intending to do with the information that you might give them, either on a live stream, on a podcast, in a Discord, in a chat, whatever, in a Twitter post, in a tweet. I think it's important to keep a lot of it private. So, needless to say, this accident, I want to say, is a blessing in disguise for me and kind of came at a right time. It was something that happened out of nowhere. Immediately after, I didn't freak out at the person. I didn't rage out. Things will get fixed. It's a process, but it's an annoying one, but it'll get fixed. It's just a vehicle. I'm okay. They were okay. And that was the primary concern at the time. But it's definitely made me realize that all those moments where you get upset about something, or all those moments where you're irritated about something, and at the end of the day, those things probably usually never matter. You're irritated because someone didn't show up on time. You're irritated because work scheduled you on this day instead of that day. These things don't matter, because if you were gone tomorrow, the things that you probably would have, felt regret about or guilt about is probably not spending enough time with family members, not being kinder to your friends, not being more generous, more genuine. Should have done this, could have done that. All these things run through your mind, I'm sure. And I don't know what happens in the afterlife, but I hope we're able to really assess at that point. And maybe if we do come back, we can do better. But that's a whole other topic. But I got into my first accident last Friday, and it didn't physically scare me. It mentally scared me a couple days later. And as I talk about it now, and I talked about it on stream the following day, or that evening, actually, that afternoon when it happened on Friday, when I talk about it more, I quickly realize of the fact that when my life throws things my way, sitting there and ruminating over them, over these things, over these decisions, over these situations, will do absolutely nothing for my future, especially if it would have been taken away from me 4 days ago. It's a scary thought, but it's one that I'm embracing. It's one that I think you should embrace. If you've ever been to a car accident, maybe you can relate to this. If you've ever been into an accident of any sorts where you could have died, you could have passed, you could have been really, really severely injured, maybe you can relate to this a bit more than anybody else. But just make sure you go out there and you live your life and you be happy. I have someone asking me about, advice for like, should I do this? Should I do that for work and all these things? And one of them is more money and it's than that. And I said, money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys comfort and safety. But if I would have passed on Friday, it doesn't matter how much money was in my bank account. I would have potentially done this with a little bit of a grudge with my parents, with my sister, not solidifying relationships the way they should have been. There's a lot. There's a lot that you can do. There's a lot that you can change. There's a lot that you maybe probably should change. And I just don't want something life-threatening to happen for you to realize it. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know what? Yeah, I definitely could do better here and I should change this and I should just let that go. And life is too short and it can be made a lot shorter out of nowhere. Take the time to be kind. Take the time to hug your loved ones. Say I love yous. Say thank yous and your welcomes. And be safe. I'm sorry if this one wasn't very much upbeat and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's motivating in its own way. A blessing in disguise. Thanks so much for listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And thank you so much for watching on YouTube. And we'll catch you next time, guys. Cheers.